Okay guys, welcome back to System Test 3. As you can see, I've changed out the smoke detector. The smoke detector is now an Apollo or Ampac Orbis. Now, the reason why I've changed the smoke detector and not the Banshee sounder is because, one, the Banshee sounder works better with the 9-volt battery in the smoke detector than the Ampac sounder, which has a bit of issues, and two, well, if I had the same smoke detector, it wouldn't really be much of a difference, would it? In fact, there'd be like no difference, other than maybe changing the tones on the sounder. Anyway, the tone on the sounder is now on slow sweep. The one that I had before was fast sweep. This one will sound more like a burglar alarm rather than something that'll probably blow your ears out. And in fact, I will show you the inside of my Orbis right now. So it's a simple smoke detector, as you can see. It's just it can be, I think it's a 4-wire, but it can be used as a 2-wire smoke detector, and it has some information there, and it says that Orbis is a trademark of Apollo. Yes, that's correct. And it's quite a nice detector, actually, quite slim. My school uses them as well, and I think they're only used in about 2 buildings only. So yeah, let's get to the test, shall we? But first, of course, we have to wait for the smoke detector to boot back up and start flashing, just like that. Alright, let's test it. It's going to be really fast, and I'm going to have my hand on the wire, just in case, just because if I leave too long, my parents might get mad at me, because I'm doing this when my parents are home. Anyway, again, this is going to be a very fast smoke detector, so it's going to detect this very, very, very quickly, and you'll see it. Okay, 3, 2, 1. So as you guys can see, the detector detected that fake smoke extremely quickly. I'm not sure why it's so sensitive. It might be just the setting. It could be the model, because there might be different models. And I'm pretty sure there are different models. There might be a heat detector one as well. So I've also learned that this hole here is not a test button, but rather probably some kind of temperature thermostat or whatever you call it, or thermometer or whatever, as on my other Ampac smoke detector here. It also has that same hole, but the hole, if I can find it, actually that top hole, if you can see right there, I think that's the hole, and it goes to the bottom of the smoke detector. So it's not actually a test button. I've already tried testing it with, or quote unquote testing it with a pin or something that can fit in that hole, and it never turned on. And so yeah, now that makes me think maybe I can actually power on that XP95, because maybe I've just been doing the wrong thing. Because I've never seen anybody test it using that hole, because it's not a test button. I've only seen them use like hand smoke or stuff like that. So anyway, this is just a standard Hosiden sounder. You'd find them in the UK, or you'd find them in a grocery store down in Christchurch where I live. Pretty standard things, actually. They're also at the warehouse, which is just like a thing that's like Walmart or Target for you American guys who are viewing from America, probably my followers or just subscribers who might be in America. And they're usually quite up high, or on the roof, or on a pole. I have seen, I think, multiple versions. There was one that is kind of like a Banshee sounder, but it's not used for fire alarms. It's a tone caller. I'm pretty sure it's for a telephone, and it's bright yellow, it's quite large, and it's at a shopping store. And there was another one at the same shopping store that was like this, but it had a grey middle, I'm pretty sure. And yeah, so there are multiple versions. There is a tall version of this. There's also a short version, which is this, and there are, I think, multi-tone ones, which is pretty much this one, because this has got 4 tones, but I'm pretty sure there are ones that have got multiple, more tones than this one that I have now. But of course, I got this one from a salvage yard, because you can't really get these anymore. Well, not anymore, but you can't really get these anywhere else except for, you know, a salvage yard or something, because you can't, I'm pretty sure you can't just buy them straight off, you know, the website. That's not really how it works. It goes the same for my emergency light that I got. If you're a follower of mine, you would have seen my emergency light. It's a Legram one. I bought that for $50. It didn't come off the website. I just bought it at a recycling plant or something. And, you know, it's pretty good. Very nice addition to my setup. Probably, well, not setup, but a nice addition to my collection. And probably one of my biggest ones, actually. So, yeah, that's pretty much it for the smoke detectors and alarm part, I suppose. Maybe apart from the fact that with one 9-volt battery, it wouldn't really work, this whole system here. Hopefully at some point I'll get some more alarms and I'll change this Banshee out with something different. I could try this Viper sounder that's on the right side that you can't see, because it's still attached to the board, but you can't see it. But it has this wiring issue or something that makes it kind of automatically make sound when it's connected to the circuit. It might be something to do with the battery or the smoke detector loop, or maybe, I don't know if that's the right word to use. But yeah, I've also got a piezo from like a security system that I might use. It's just incredibly loud. I'm telling you, it's so loud, you'd probably only want to have it going off for at least a couple seconds, because it is just so loud. Ear piercing, if, you know, it's way too loud, but I think it would work, because it's 2-wire. The alarms I get them if they're 2-wire, because 2-wire seems more or less complicated. But the Viper sounder I got was 4-wire, but it only needed 2 wires. And in fact, I replaced the wires because they were too stiff to move around. That's why the wires that you see, except for the Banshee's wires here, these wires are original for the Banshee, but these wires didn't come with the smoke detector, the orbits, but rather I attached them to the terminals, and they worked fine. And I've got a bunch of wires. I've got a bunch of these wires because I took these wires off a smoke detector cable, which wasn't being needed to be used, and that was off my DSC smoke detector that might be in my next system test 4. Either that, or it'll be this guy here. It's a 2151, I'm pretty sure, and it might say up there, yeah, 2151, and it's got the red LEDs, and I have tried it and it works. Only thing is, well, this base is a bit stiff, but I think it'll work. And this guy here might come into play at some point too. I don't think I've been able to get him to work, but there might be something I can do to make him work. So that guy will come in, probably. Pretty nice alarm, don't you think? And, of course, my DSC smoke detector, which is broken, but that's fine because I can probably just figure something out. Yeah. This guy is broken, and yes, I've covered up the piezo. It just makes it quieter. And it's broken, as you can tell. But it does work, and it works fine. Well, not really. It works okay, I guess. It's a bit broken, but it works, I'm assuming that's going to be fine in the system test series that I'm making. And maybe, possibly, at some point, if I figure out the terminals correctly, I can use one of these. Benefice heat detector. It's rated for, I'm pretty sure, 57 degrees Celsius or something. Yeah, it's 57 degrees Celsius. You'll probably be able to see it. 57 degrees Celsius. And I might be able to use that, and I might be, now this might not happen because I haven't been able to get this to work, but I might use this as well, XP95. I think this would be a pretty nice addition because it looks quite nice. Also, another alarm used at my school as well. It won't flash though, it doesn't flash, it'll only flash when it gets activated. But, yeah, anyway, in a couple days, I think I might get a new board. a small board, as this one is way too big, so you might see that. I might not buy one, I might buy one. But, just, if you see a new board or something, it's probably because I've bought a new one. And, yeah, if you guys enjoyed this video, do consider subscribing, liking, or leaving a comment. Any questions can be or will be answered. And you guys have a good rest of your guys' day. Sorry if that sounded a little bit weird. Let's just redo that. Anyway, if you guys had a good day, not again. Goodbye.